What's the number one challenge you are facing with your elbow? So this was one of the responses: not knowing if it's elbow, shoulder, or neck causing the issues, and providers not understanding your symptoms. So let's unpack that a little bit. Not knowing if it's elbow, shoulder, or neck causing the issues. What I find is, even if somebody has a diagnosis of tennis elbow, if they've had it for longer than 3 months, invariably there's some kind of neck component, there's some neck issue there as well. It's really interesting to learn about any issues with the shoulders in the past as well. Research does show there is a very high correlation between shoulder issues and elbow issues. So we know that that is the case. So often it can be a little bit of everything. And then the piece about providers not understanding the symptoms, not that many people see a lot of elbow problems. If we're thinking of physical therapists, for example, of which I am one, most general physical therapists who work at a general outpatient clinic, a general orthopedic clinic, even a general sports clinic, they're seeing every single day backs, necks, knees, shoulders. They see them every single day. And what you see, you get really good at treating. So from an elbow perspective, they might see one tennis elbow or one elbow a year. It's much more rare than the backs, necks, knees, and shoulders. So that's why it can be a little challenging, because they don't see it all the time. And then if you kind of layer on top of that, depending on what your issue is, that's, tennis elbow. If you have the golfer's elbow, that's even more rare. So it's hard for people to really have the knowledge and understanding to dig deep when they're not seeing something all the time. So that's why it can be obviously helpful to work with a specialist. I had a really interesting conversation with a retired specialist doctor who we have this conversation. It's like, oh, you're talking my language. Because it really makes a difference if you're seeing a generalist, if you're seeing somebody who knows a little bit about everything. That's what generalists have to know, a little bit about everything. Specialists go really deep into one thing. So you're always going to get better information from a specialist because they go really deep on that one thing. So for example, I know about tennis elbows. I've been working with tennis elbows for a very long time. Like big toe bunions, they're not my specialty. Do I know a little bit about it? Yes, but not as much as somebody who's seeing that every single day. So I hope that helps.